Roll call, please.
Melanie?
Here.
Jake?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Pledge allegiance, please. Melanie, would you?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I feel like I need to apologize for my voice. I'm not sick, it's just I'm losing the voice. We have proof of publication here. Visitors and correspondence.
Do you want me to read that, Linda, to save your voice?
If you want,
Yeah, just let me do it. Anyone desiring to speak on any item or issue not on the agenda or any item on the agenda that does not include a public hearing may do so, which shall be limited to 3 minutes. Person should identify themselves by name and address. Person speaking should not expect council to engage in back and forth dialogue regarding their comments. Unless an agenda item includes a public hearing, no person may speak during the business portion of the meeting, provided, however, persons speaking during a public hearing are limited to between 5 and 20 minutes. The public is advised that a copy of the Open Meetings Act is located on the north wall of the council chamber, and one copy of all reproducible written material to be discussed at this meeting is available for examination or copying.
is there anyone that'd like to speak at this time? Can I move for approval of the agenda?
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Well, I don't know.
Looking for approval of the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I will second that.
Vote, please. Okay, number 8. Douglas County interlocal for inspection service discussion regarding renewal of the interlocal agreement with Douglas County for inspection services. Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. So I asked that this be on the agenda. So currently we have an interlocal with the county where the county provides electrical inspection services, and then both the city and the county provide reciprocal building inspection services to one another. So in your packet, you have the existing interlocal that we have that expires in April of this year, just a few months away. And then you also have the draft that the county attorney's office has proposed that we enter into, which would replace and supersede the existing agreement. What you don't have is a red line version that clearly tells you what the differences are between the existing agreement and the proposed one. But as far as I can tell, the highlights of the differences are these. The current agreement really provides for an unlimited time frame for the building inspection services to occur. The draft as presented instead has a 60-day cap. So rather than the county providing inspection services and the city providing those services to the county for a full 2-year period or whatever the duration of the agreement ultimately is, there's a 60-day cap on that. So that the county isn't, the entire time providing inspection services, and neither is the city. The other or another difference, of course, we have an increase in fees. And these aren't significant increases. I think there might be a $20 difference in the electrical applications. And then there's, it looks like a $30-some difference in commercial plan inspections and a $10 difference in residential plan building inspections. Another difference that I see that I think needs to be cleaned up is there's a change in the insurance provision. So the existing agreement obligates both the city and the county to have insurance. The draft just obligates the city to provide the insurance. I'm sure that the county has insurance, but that's something that I think needs to be cleaned up in the way of a suggested revision when we send this back to the county. And then finally, Mike, I will give Mike credit for this. He called me earlier today and pointed out another difference, and that is that in this new draft, the county is proposing that all electrical permits be applied through the county and its system, and that we as the city will not even take those applications. Whereas the existing agreement, the city takes the applications. So those are the differences. I don't know how carefully or not you studied and compared, but this is on the agenda just for discussion purposes. So I thought that I'd answer any questions that you might have. Maybe you have other suggested revisions to for us to proffer to the county. But the idea is that when we leave, or when I leave here tonight, I'll redline what the county is proposing and send that back to the county for additional input from them. And maybe next month, probably more realistically in March, we'll hopefully be to a place where we can approve this, and that will have to be done by resolution. So I think the absolute latest to approve it would be the April meeting, because again, it does expire in April. And we should get the new one in place before the existing one expires.
Yes.
I don't have anything to add to it right now.
Yes, I believe it.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, number 9, Blue Water subdivision, consideration and action to accept lot certification. I move for a recommended motion.
Sorry, I'm just pulling it up around.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion carried. Number 10 is the mileage reimbursement. We go through this every year, and it's really set by the IRS. So we're consideration and action to set the mileage reimbursement rate at 72.5 cents per mile as set by the Internal Revenue Service. I recommend a motion for it.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Approved. Thank you. Number 11, signal security, code enforcement. Consideration and action to terminate services.
I'll make a motion to approve the termination.
I'll second.
Motion carried.
And that's in February.
Well, we're checking a date.
Yeah, we need to check the dates, see if we have to give a certain amount of time to terminate the services.
Okay,
As soon as we can terminate it, we will.
okay.
Okay, number 12, Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. It's confirmation of the following appointments to the committee. First of all, I would like to say, I'm very pleased to say we had 11 applicants. That is awesome. You guys are stepping up, and I appreciate it. Now, just so you know, there's a difference in the year there. We have to stagger the terms. So Georgine Gotch is gonna be on for 1 year. If she wants, when her year is up, I will ask her if she wants to be on it again. If she does, it's just a matter of us approving. If she doesn't, then we'll take applications for an opening for it. Or we'll move Mary Ellis, the alternate, up. Randy Eggbarts and Paul Glidden will be on for 2 years. Johnny Owen and Dean Nestander will be on for 3 years. And Mary Ellis will be our alternate. So if something happens to someone and they cannot serve out their term, Mary Ellis can move up and do it. So I'm looking for a motion to carry this through.
There is, with the other applicants, they would have to go through this committee, I believe, as an opportunity to be ex officio.
Mhm.
I don't think, is there a cap on that?
No, Tim ex officio, no, there is no cap on his.
So if others, you know, be a part of this, essentially, it's just not a voting member.
Right.
But clearly all the input, I think, is great.
Tim is gonna be representing the city on this, correct, Tim? Huh? Yeah. Sounds like me back there.
Make a motion to approve.
I second.
Motion carried. Okay, number 13, and this has been, there has been a lot of research into this. It's resolution number 2026-01. It's consideration and action to enter into a software agreement with Edmunds Tech for accounting and billing. We will be getting rid of AccuFund. But this is a long, long process. It's gonna take at least 12 months, if not more, to get Edmunds in place. So in the meantime, you're gonna have Edmunds and AccuFund both. And we have to work with it. But anyway, Lori and Kendra have been the people that have gone out and done all the research, and they're gonna say a few words here.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. City staff, we've completed a review of 4 municipal software vendors to support our financial, utility, and administrative operations. The options evaluated were Banyan Data, Power Manager, Frame Municipal Software, and Edmunds GovTech. Each vendor offered different levels of functionality. Banyan Data and Frame provided traditional desktop-based systems suited for smaller municipalities. They are lower of cost, but lack modern features such as cloud access and remote work capabilities. Power Manager focuses on utility and financial operations, but is currently undergoing internal changes following a recent acquisition, which has impacted support for some cities. Edmunds GovTech offers a comprehensive integrated enterprise resource planning platform designed for small to mid-sized municipalities. It supports finance, utilities, payroll, permitting, and the citizen-facing services, with options for cloud development or deployment and strong customer support. Sure.
So after careful consideration of functionality, scalability, and long-term technology strategy, staff recommends Edmunds GovTech as the best solution for the city of Valley. This recommendation reflects our growing population and the need for a system that can scale with future demands while also providing modern tools for efficiency and citizen engagement. So next steps, if approved, we will begin negotiations with Edmunds GovTech and then prepare an implementation plan.
We also got there were those extra questions in our meeting, and they are a privately held operation. They are not willing to produce their financial statements. They are willing to show a good financial health, a report through Dun and Bradstreet, if we so wish. They have indicated there's no ongoing concern that they're not going to sell out.
Yeah, they're in over 35 states. They're in over 2,500 municipalities. Like, They're large, they've been in over business for over 50 years, and out of all four that we've looked at, they are the longest running company as well, and privately owned, internally employed as well, so. They also do all of their updates quarterly outside of their working hours, so any type of updating to their system that needs to be done is done outside of business time frame. We do get notifications of release notes, patch notes. They sent us a copy from their September 2025. It's like 12 pages, screenshots, drill downs. It's beautiful. We will get an audit log as well. They do have the option for a mobile app for the citizens to use too. So for a bill pay feature, they could just log into a mobile app. And that's at no extra cost either. And then hosting on site is included as well as data backups. So.
I personally would like to thank you two for all the research and everything you've done. I think this will be a great improvement from what we've been using. And I
It's
think you two
exciting.
will be the happiest of all.
I second that. These two ladies didn't just consider like their own day-to-day job. They also thought of everyone in Valley. So this is huge. This impacts everybody in a very positive way. So congratulations and thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have any questions for us?
I don't think so. No, I appreciate it. I think it's been more, you guys have done more work than just what you expressed here. So I just, I know we talked about the closest one municipality that has this software
Milford.
was Milford.
Mhm.
And I think we were gonna set up, or you're gonna set up a trip to
Yeah.
actually look at it.
Yep, so I talked to the treasurer today. She did ask if we wanted to wait just a little bit until they were fully integrated. Their accounting suite is live right now. Their utility gets fully integrated in March. So she asked, she's totally open if we wanted to come anytime, but if we wanted to wait until they were fully in it, and then we could come and take a look and they could show us all the reporting and everything else. So, yeah, they're totally open to it.
No, I think, I suggest we do move forward. But I would like you guys to check it out in person there and go from there.
I would like to point out too, Lori did some calling today, with, with other municipalities, with all, Banyan, Frey, just to get their opinion before we made a final decision. And I'm gonna default to you on Edmonds, just because I know we're both fishy, so.
So I called up to Minnesota because Banyan is huge in Minnesota. And both of the cities that I spoke to up there actually discontinued service with them in November of 2025. It's desktop based. So no remote access whatsoever. Customer service quality was varied. System errors may occur after Microsoft updates. So when Microsoft updates, you actually have to call Banyan and tell them, oh, hey, by the way, and then they fix. There's limited reporting and utility rate setup options. And overall, we thought maybe it was best suited for like a village, maybe something smaller, somebody that's not growing so fast. Power Manager, currently with their acquisition by Harris, the internal changes are mostly what's impacting their service and the lack of customer support knowledge there. So I'm not big on that when we're trying to integrate. Nobody there internally knows what's going on. So, and then Frame Municipal Software, also an okay software, no cloud, no remote. It's older software design with limited citizen self-service. And then with that, it requires 3 separate platforms. So, but yeah, several municipalities throughout the United States I called, talked to the treasurers and the utility billing clerks and got their input. And Edmonds, that I had no negative review from the municipalities in South Carolina or Virginia.
Yeah, I think what I got out of it is there's gonna be better internal customer service from them to what we currently have. And maybe the fees won't be as much every time we contact them.
Yeah.
But I think, this was the 3-year set price
Yes,
for this.
yes.
And more of a software base to exclude more as far as external software, so it can be more one hub
Right.
for like even payments and
Yes.
for permits as well. Unlimited users on your side with view options. Yeah, I think, and the different levels of service as well, as far as phone, email, and chat. Is it? That's the ones I wrote down.
They had, email, phone, support ticket. I believe they do have a chat option, and then we would have a dedicated liaison too that we can reach out to.
Okay.
Yeah, and they have priority level support.
And it will integrate with Census
Yes.
and the new antenna we have.
Yes,
It will integrate with that.
Yeah.
So,
and they're currently, one of the other perks that I know as well is they are working with another municipality that is moving away from AccuFund too. So they're already kind of gonna be aware
really?
as to what that process looks like. And a lot of places haven't heard of AccuFund before. So that's another perk for us, is that they're already familiar with what that integration will look like.
yeah, I think this is, it'll be a big change, but I think it's a change that you guys are excited about to do. So I think it'll be a good thing.
We are aware that there will be some changes with payment portal, and we are asking that the citizens please bear with us while we're going through that. It will be a lot better though on the other side of it, but yeah, we will be migrating away from Express Bill Pay, so that will be a change.
Yeah, because I think we pay for Express and then
Correct.
AccuFund, which
Correct.
then Edmunds offers both
Yes.
basically options. So,
And we were gonna, if we look into an implementation too right now, this whole process, again, is gonna take on the low end 12 months, could take anywhere from 14, high end potentially 16. So this change is gonna be down the line, so don't worry about anything
Nope.
yet. 2027,
Yeah.
March, April, maybe, fingers crossed, so.
Any more questions?
I don't think so. Did any of those graphs for like the water usage on those, or was that an option? Or-
So, yeah, so on their electronic statements, they do have the ability to create I think it was a 6-month view graph of your usage history. Not on the paper billing, but on the e-statements, you'll be able to see a little snapshot of what your usage history looks like in fact over the last 6 months, to help you kind of review your bill in general. Also in helping with, determining sewer rates, which we're in the month, so it's December, watch your water usage, so just throw that out there.
Did we find out if that app has like alerts on it? Like for the citizens, like maybe they would have a leak they didn't know about?
Sure, like a high-low alarm or something like that. We didn't get that deep involved within, and I don't know that the Express Bill Pay, or excuse me, what we use now, that their bill pay would necessarily have that feature. But I don't want to speak to the antenna, but I think the antenna can give us, when we got that upgraded to, will give us some internal information that we can also work with citizens on, so.
Okay.
We'll find out more about that as to exactly the nuances of what they provide as well, and as we're looking forward to. So,
But thank you very much.
Thank you, ladies.
thank you.
I'm looking for a motion to approve resolution number 2026-01.
I would make a motion to approve it.
I'll approve it there just based on the review there
Yeah,
of it in person there.
yeah.
So,
Move. Okay. Okay, now we have ordinance 843. The next item on the agenda is ordinance 843, which is consideration approval of a $500 deposit to guarantee correct installation of water meters. I would entertain a motion to introduce ordinance number 843 on the first reading.
Make a motion to consider it.
Yes, on the first reading. I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second in introducing ordinance number 843 on the first reading. Is there any discussion?
Where's the $500?
Yeah, so let me just take a moment here. So I prepared this ordinance and it really what it does, it amends existing code section 52.010. And it's pretty much the same as the existing code section until we get down to subdivision 4 and 5. So subdivision 4 keeps the language of the customer having to pay the current market price, and then it goes on to say that in addition to that market price, the customer at time of purchase of the meter shall remit a $500 deposit, which is refundable, provided that the conditions in later on subsection 4 are followed, and that is that the meter and radio transceiver unit be installed within 14 days, instructions be properly followed, and that the installation be approved and pass an inspection. And so if all that happens, then the $500 deposit is returned. If that doesn't happen, then the $500 is forfeited and not returned to the customer. So this really just provides, the purpose of it is to provide some assurances and incentives to have the meter installed correctly in time.
And there's like a second inspection opportunity to pass it and get the deposit back if the first one doesn't pass.
That is not in the ordinance.
Okay.
I'm just here to answer questions. Back history on this is with all the growth in town, Mike Adair People Service. With all the growth in town, all the new houses being built, obviously, in the last couple of years, we really attacked meters, trying to get everything under control with those water meters. New builders, they'll come pick up a meter and it could be a month later. It could be whatever time they decide to tell us that they're ready for that meter to be installed and the MXU be attached to. Okay. First off, we obviously lose revenue there because they're using water, not going through the meter. So what this does is it gives them a timeline to have that meter in and be ready for us to put the MXU on it so we can start billing them for water. What this also does is it confusion on her part because people will come in and buy a meter, not install it in the amount of time. Then they say they're ready. We give them in the box of the meter, we give them instructions with this particular wire to use so that when it's in the house and we use 2 wires, but it's a 3-wire system, we know which wires to use on the outside of the house. Okay? Half of them don't read those instructions. They put the meter and go away. So now we have to install the wire, and we really don't like drilling holes through finished homes outside. That should be done when the house is being built, not when it's done. And we run into this all the time. So Mike, Kendra, and myself sat down and tried to figure out a way to avoid this, and deposit is about the best way that we came up with. It gives them 14 days to have it installed, wires out, ready for our hookup. And then if they do that, they get the money back. Back to your question about a second inspector or whatnot. No, that is not in this ordinance, because if they want their $500 back, most of them are gonna get it done anyway. And if they don't get it done, then we do it, and I don't know what happens after that, to be honest with you, but, because we do it now. So, on the ones that are not following the proper rules. So this just cleans up our side of it to be able to start billing when we're supposed to start billing, and not allow them to steal water, put a pipe in, but they have a meter sitting there. This kind of stops all of that.
And this is built into the permit.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, obviously, all of this is built in the permit, but does not specify this down, so we need an ordinance to be able to charge them the $500 deposit. So that's where this all comes from.
And the people service does the inspections.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, because we hook up the MXU at the end, if the MXU doesn't work, then there's something wrong inside.
Any more discussion? Will the city clerk read the short title?
Ordinance number 843, an ordinance of the city of Valley, Nebraska, amending existing municipal code section 52.010 pertaining to water meters to require the payment of a refundable deposit as a condition of installation of any water meter, and to provide for forfeiture of the deposit in certain circumstances, repealing municipal code sections, ordinances, and resolutions in conflict herewith, and providing an effective date.
Please vote. Is there a desire to suspend the rules and pass the ordinance on the second and third readings?
I would make a motion to this one.
Okay.
Melanie made the motion, Jane seconded. Vote please. Ordinance number 843 passes on the second and third reading. Okay, on to agenda item number 15. The next item on the agenda is ordinance 844, which consideration and approval of water rates. I would entertain a motion to introduce ordinance number 844 on the first reading.
This was the 3-year, right?
5-year
But
or 3,
the part of the third is the third stage.
Year 3 out of 5.
year 3 out of 5.
Okay.
We got an email into Randy to give us,
An updated rate 7.
yeah, because we're only going through 2027.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve.
A second.
We have a motion and a second introducing ordinance number 844 on the first reading. Is there any, you guys have any discussions?
I don't think so. I think it's laid out in the 5-year plan there.
Okay.
So,
Will the city clerk please read the short title?
Ordinance number 844, an ordinance repealing section 52.092 of the Valley Municipal Code, an ordinance adopting revised section 52.092, including setting new water usage rates, services for customers of the city water department, both inside and outside the city limits, providing for an effective date of this ordinance, providing for a severability clause, and providing for the repeal of all ordinances in conflict herewith.
Please vote. Is there a desire to suspend the rules and pass the ordinance on the second and third reading?
so moved.
Second.
Ordinance number 844 passes on the second and third reading. Okay, number 16. 16. Chief, please.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. Before I start on my portion of things, I wanted to touch base on the signal stuff. I didn't get a chance to talk about that when you guys voted to get rid of it. The police department's going to be the one taking on that responsibility for ordinance enforcement until Drew can get all of his stuff underneath him. So I've been working with Kendra. We'll work on a plan. It's going to be very simple when it comes to ordinance enforcement. My guys will drive around. We'll see something that doesn't meet ordinance. My folks will touch base with them, give them an opportunity, inform them this is what's wrong. They're going to get an opportunity to fix it. We'll give them a reasonable amount of time to get that done. If they don't, we'll come back with the ticket and then they can just figure it out from there once they get down to the city prosecutor's office. So that's kind of how we're going to handle it. Pretty simple, to the point, for the council, for the members of the community. We'll be willing to work with anybody. If they do have, again, for instance, example, let's just say there's a huge amount of trash that's sitting out. I don't expect them to do that within a day. We'll give them a couple weeks, a reasonable amount of time, considering what the violation is. We're not going to be out here just to write tickets to people. It's not what we do. It's not the intent of the program. But again, I'll work with Kendra. Normal complaint channels online, how they'll come in, she'll give them to me. And then we'll vet those and figure out how to proceed with that. So that's kind of how we're going to handle the ordinances.
Thank you.
So moving on to the request of Councilmember Lewis. He requested that I come up and kind of give a brief about the police department. Moving forward, I'd recommend probably maybe a quarterly. You get up here, but if you want me to do this every council meeting, I can do that as well. It's really up to you, but I think quarterly would probably be sufficient enough to give kind of updates for you and the community. So it was a busy year for the police department. We had a lot going on. 2,300 plus calls for service documented. Last year we had, the year before that, 2024, we had 1,700. So we're definitely ticking up upwards when it comes to calls for service. 620 total traffic stops, up from 437 the year prior to that. So my officers have been out, they've been busy making sure that our streets are safe here in town. We've had multiple community engagement events, coat drives, sock drives, mental health awareness, participation, all of those things that we put out on our Facebook page. So my officers have been very, very busy doing what they're paid to do. So all of our annual reporting is done for the year. So we're 100% on our annual firearms qualification. All of our officers have been requalified, both handgun and handgun's only requirement. Rifle is not. So, but everybody's met the standard for the state and as well as our continuing education. So we're 100% across the board for our reporting this year. So we're clear until we get that audit email, which we probably will middle of this year, which it's pretty standard that we'll get it audited by the state. So other than that, I'll open to any questions or comments that you might have for myself.
No, I appreciate you talking about it. Thank you.
Thank you. City Administrator?
Yes, I don't really have anything more to add than what's been covered already tonight, but I'm here and happy to answer any questions you might have for me.
No, I appreciate your work on the software as well.
Okay,
And
Everything else.
thank you.
People Service?
Can I just say ditto? No. You all got a copy of the monthly report. Are there any questions on that first?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna steal some of his thunder, but obviously we're gonna be starting to replace mains here soon. That's been awarded and he'll get into that. But on the streets that we are gonna be touching, we'll be sending notices out so everybody knows. But once again, I ask for patience. We will be in people's yards, we'll be finding curb stops, we'll be tearing up the yards, we'll be tearing up that kind of stuff. I just ask your patience, because this is what we all wanted, was to replace water mains. So the more we can restrict the negativity, the better off we are. So I do ask for your patience while we do that, and we start that process, which is gonna be soon. Kind of it. Is there anything else? Any questions?
Can we just make sure like that we're coordinating like with trash services and things like that?
Oh, yes,
Okay,
yes.
just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Because obviously we'll be blocking off streets, so that'll have to be figured out. Any more questions?
Thank you.
City engineer, and you have been busy.
I thought you pointed that, maybe I just didn't know. Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. Tonight, we have had a little bit of activity here. Really, this is kind of the result of the passing of the budget in October. Then we get working on all of these projects, and here's kind of like the first round of some of these things that will occur over this next upcoming months here. So the first item, though, is the water treatment plant expansion with Erickson Construction. We do have their progress payment number 12 in the amount of $428,400. That takes them just almost to 50% of their contract price. If you actually have been by there, you'll see a bunch of walls, which is very exciting to see. I was told that last week they were trying to get the cinder block work done last week. Fortunately, this weather over the last month has just been fabulous for them to keep going and not have to do a lot of tenting and such with the weather. That's going to allow them to start putting roof on 3/4 of that facility. We are still tracking one of the critical piece filter components. That's is the hitch pin to the whole project right now to be able to get the last roof on and get everything else moving forward. We were told that was going to be the end of January. We're still trying to get a updated, our contractor, we're still trying to get an updated delivery date of that component. So we're hopeful that the schedule will hold, or at the very least, it would be early February to get this, keep the project moving, progressing in a timely manner. That being said, they are tracking, we did pass a time extension, so it wouldn't be online by June 1st roughly, but it would be probably in the July timeframe is what overall, we're still tracking a little bit late, but we can't, anything I would tell you tonight is all assumptions because we don't have a date of this center column for the filter, so. But it is exciting to see that with the roof going on, it'll be moving into the trades of the electricians, the plumbers, the HVACs, all of the equipment starts to show up and starts to fill it in too. So just an exciting project. So again, they're tracking almost 50% of the contract price. You will see this number go up radically over the next few months here once some of this equipment starts to show up. But tonight we do have this progress payment and we do recommend approval to Erickson Construction in that set amount.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to approve resolution 2026-02.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Item B then is validating. This is the utility portion of the project. Basically, all of the water main has gotten completed over the last, in December. So they're just really nearing construction or acceptance testing on a couple of their items with the water main portion of this project. So tonight we do have the progress payment number 8 to United Utilities and Excavation at about $115,508.54. And that takes them to about 98% of their contract price. And we would anticipate this is going to be done here within about a week or two, and then hopefully we're closing this out at the February meeting. So with that, we do recommend the progress payment in that set amount.
I would entertain a motion to approve resolution 2026-03.
So moved.
Second.
Item C then, Valley Lakes Business Park. This one's been a long-going project for, I'll say 9 months now, so it's a labor of love. But we are here tonight to finally close the project out with change order number 1. That's a decrease of $52,090. Vast majority of that is we paid dewatering on the projects per foot, and there was not as much water anticipated that the geotech report was showing. So that's really the lion's share of these that deduct. So having reviewed that, we do recommend approval of change order number 1 in that decrease amount.
I would entertain a motion to approve change order number 1.
So moved.
Second.
Then correspondingly, we just have resolution 2026-04. This is the corresponding final payment to the contractor for their retainage and final work items completed to NLL Concrete in the amount of $23,473. Would you recommend approval of that final pay request?
I would entertain a motion to approve resolution number 2026-04.
So moved.
Second.
Item D then, FY 26 water main project. This is what Mr. Adair alluded to. If you recall, September and October, I think Mike might have to help me on that, but that's when we kind of presented kind of what we call the phase one or first year plan of water main replacements. And generally, I should say, it just included Alexander, Charles, Whittingham, and Waring and Lakewood, all west of West Street as a pocket of water mains. And then also included Richmond Road from Walnut down to Center Street as the other main piece of that. That would be our first piece. That's what we submitted for in the budget, and unfortunately, the construction bid was basically just under what we had estimated, that 1.3 million. So Furman Construction was the apparent low bidder, and that amount of 1.630. Oh man, that's just butchered that. $1,263,188.85. But basically, that's those allocated funds that we included in FY 26. So fortunate that we are on budget with this project to date at the bidding stage, and then we would recommend approval of, or recommend award of the construction contract to Verba. I did have a brief conversation with him actually tonight, is he would look somewhere in late April, kind of late spring, or coming out of spring is when a good start date. He has 3 or 4 projects. He has 3 for sure on the books that he has through the winter works that he has. So then he'll get those done and then look to come to Valley to start this project. And like Mike said, this will be probably most of the summer time frame, but we'll post notifications like we have on the other projects on which segment will be first and stuff. None of that is known yet. So we'll work on all that and work with city staff to get those published or posted on the website, social media, and all those good things. So, did you answer any questions on that?
You think starting in April and done by like end of July, August?
Probably September. Right?
Okay,
It'll take most of the summer. I'm guessing it's 5,600 feet if I remember correctly.
okay.
So.
Do you want to make a motion to approve the bid?
Make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Vote please.
Correspondingly, we have this lift station and pump replacement project is what we kind of named it as. And I tried to draft out a narrative to put all of the numbers and everything else into words. So that actually came out Monday. I didn't get it done on Friday afternoon when I was drafting it for Miss Christie. But basically, there's a couple different big pieces of that. Is that we're rebuilding with one lift station, we're buying some pumps, and then we're using the city's electrician that they've worked on all of these lift stations for other portions of this. And then we're buying some of the pumps direct that are direct replacements, so they didn't go through the procurement of the competitive bidding process because there is no competitive bid on those materials. So tonight we do have the first one, which is to Verba Construction to rebuild Ginger Woods number 3. And also that project included 2 bypass connections that are 2 main lift stations that did not exist, that would have been beneficial during certain outages of power and those events to where it would allow a connection to occur for a bypass to pump that we'd rent from United Rentals or whatever else we can get in the metro area. We've talked to 3 or 4 different companies that had certain sizes are available, so we're ready to procure those when that need arises, but hopefully we don't have to actually use these. But we did only receive the 1 bid from Verba Construction, the amount of $301,975. $301,975. We can recommend award of that construction contract for them.
Make a motion to approve.
A second.
And then correspondingly, we have the contract number 2. That's also the Verba Construction for the 1 pump replacement out at Legacy Valley in the amount of $20,000. we do recommend approval of that pump replacement to get that back to a duplex station.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Bear with me 10 seconds here. There it is. And then also, this is to Burke Gurney Associates. This is for 6 different pumps. We're putting in 2 new ones at Nick Street, 2 at Myersville, and 2 at Belmont Lift Station number 2. These are all direct replacements of what is there. Basically, some of these lift stations have 3 spots for the pumps. One of them has 1, one of them has 2. So there's just a need to get these all replaced and back up and running in full strength. So that's the $257,609. So we do recommend the proposal to Burke Gurney and Associates in that amount.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
And then finally, we have West County Electrical. That's just, we had talked to them, solicited them for installation wire, crank testing, control coordination with Jetco, and that's for all 6 of the pumps. That's an amount of $60,038.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I think I'll put it this in.
You're fine.
All right, good. So all that to say, basically, we had I think an $800,000 budget line item, or about 500 or 735,000. So fortunately, when we were kind of looking at this last summer, we were on par and under budget. So we had a couple more little things to do, but we're talking a couple thousand type things where it's not monumental. So that'll be a good one to get all of these coordinated with that. So any questions on all of that? Okay, good. FY26 street projects we've got in West Street pretty much drafted and ready to move forward. I'm gonna talk with city staff tomorrow on that, so we'll look to see what we will set on that. And then really that's the only update on that one. And then planning commission is next week that we've been working on. There's a couple, 4 items, I think, 3. I can't remember right off the top of my head. I mean, there's a couple main ones that we'll have on the agenda for next week as well. So we're just doing that and continuing to support city staff with some permitting items and floodplain items that keep coming up, or inquiries. So we're happy to do that. So any other questions, I'd be happy to answer for you.
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Thanks for all your work. City attorney.
Good evening again. I don't think I really have anything to add to what I've already discussed. That being the water meter ordinance, of course, that I prepared, and then the interlocal, the draft of the interlocal with the county for inspection. I will say that I'm getting some questions from developers and attorneys about, the status of some subdivision issues and TIF issues, and we've held those back pending a full council. So in February, maybe more realistically March, we'll start to see those issues on the agenda again.
Yes. On the mayor's report, I just wanted to talk briefly about last month's meeting. It was brought up about the invoices for the gift cards for city employees by the mayor. It is legal. We have an ordinance in place, number 833, that was approved and passed on January 14th of 2025. So the matter is legal. She did not, nothing was done illegal on that. Also, in regards to the luncheon, the farewell luncheon of $218.56, that money has been reimbursed to the city. So it's a closed matter at this point. The condensation tarp on the water tower is finally and now totally completed. We are done with this project. And that's all I have. Upcoming items, the planning commission, as was mentioned, is January 20th, 2026 at 4:30. And the 2026 Midwinter Conference is February February 23rd to 24th, 2026. I'm urging council members to attend, if at all possible. And I will be attending, so that's it.
I just had some, I don't know if I can do it under this. Are we on upcoming items? Or,
Upcoming items.
I was just, I want to talk about the water advisory. Just as a, where it's at.
Sure.
There, I worked with Mike a little bit more on the water advisory. I think at this point, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, we're just taking it to the rest of the council members when we have two new ones. Just getting the overall feel and opinion on that, so. That's all, that's it for me.
Executive session.
Oh, yep. Number 23, I, council member Jake Lewis, moved to go into closed session at 7:56 PM for the protection of the public interest and in order to have a discussion with the city attorney while maintaining the attorney-client privilege. Make a motion to go into closed session.
Second.
A motion has been made and second to go into closed session for the protection of the public interest and in order to have a discussion with the city attorney while maintaining the attorney-client privilege.
No.